When it comes to overwhelm, I think one of the strongest beliefs I hear from many of the people I work with is if I'm overwhelmed, something must be wrong with me. I do a lot of live sessions on Insight Timer, and I find that in the comments there, a lot of people are feeling overwhelmed. And I think particularly if you're a high achiever, there's some kind of link between feeling overwhelmed and success. Like if you can't handle it all, you can't manage it all, you must be some kind of failure. What's wrong with you? You're supposed to be Superman or Superwoman. You're supposed to be able to handle it all. And when we feel overwhelmed, the inner critic kind of grabs hold of that and jumps on the bandwagon of you must be, what's wrong with you? You should be able to cope with this. Now, the thing to understand about this in terms of how we work as human beings is that the initial feeling of overwhelm is being caused by thought, and the thoughts that I often think are underpinning overwhelm are those critical thoughts. So it starts like this. It starts by us perhaps considering our list of things we've got to do today and immediately start to feel overwhelmed. We feel, I talk often about this heaviness in our chest. And, I feel that on a regular basis, if that's helpful in terms of normalizing this experience. And many of my clients do too. And when we feel that feeling of overwhelm, then, caused by this busy mindedness and all this thinking, then here comes another layer of thinking, the thinking about can I solve that feeling? And what does that mean about me? And what's wrong with me? And surely if I've got that feeling, there must be something fundamentally that's not okay about me. And with overwhelm and all the feelings that we get caught up in that we think shouldn't be there, I want you to know that overwhelm is actually a completely natural response to you learning at some point in your life that you were supposed to be on it all the time, that you were supposed to be busy all the time, that you were supposed to be successful in getting everything off that list of jobs to do. And I think particularly for high achievers, that has just been a message that has run through life. You should be able to cope with everything. And you feeling overwhelmed is a sign that you're not coping and there's something wrong with you. But actually, the invitation is to see here that your system is responding perfectly to your thinking. In a moment, you're thinking about lots of things you think you should be doing. Watch out for that word should. It pops up all the time from the inner critic. And your system is just warning you of that. What is it asking for? It's asking you to stop, to rest, perhaps to spend some time in quiet, to be gentle with yourself. But of course, that's not what we hear. We hear you're behind, you're broken. You're not, you're just human. And I think if you've spent your whole life, being a high achiever, trying to keep on top of everything, trying to be, I guess, tough might be one of those words, trying to hustle through every part of life. If you are, somebody who identifies as being high functioning, high achieving, you've spent such a long time, and God, I know this so well, looking calm on the outside, whilst inside the pressure is just enormous. The pressure to be productive, the pressure to be pleasant, to be perfect, to keep on top of everything, to be superhero is huge. And I want you to know that that's just something you've learned. It's just something you've learned, that there's a right way to be in life, when actually there isn't. Overwhelm is not a sign of weakness. My goodness, I think the most high achieving people on the planet probably feel overwhelmed the most. Because it's never enough, is it? It doesn't really matter how much you do. It doesn't really matter if you have a list of 20 things and you tick off 19 of them. You will focus on the 20th thing, the thing you didn't cross off the list. Because it's never enough, is it? Never enough is like an actual, like a statement of the inner critic, isn't it? Just never enough. Mine is never enough. It's never enough. And if you spend a long time running on output, not nourishment, this may have become like a standard way of you being in life. And it can look, because of that, it can look like we have to earn our right to rest. You have to finish all the things. I remember feeling like that in the run up to when I burnt out. Was I can stop, I can rest, I can pause when I've done all these things, but I must do all these things first. I've got to do the things first, and then I'll earn the right to sit still. And at one point, I was running at a ridiculous level of overwhelm and stress for so many years, I daren't even count them. But at one point, I couldn't sit still. I couldn't sit still. It was near on impossible for me to just sit still on the sofa and just watch television. There was always something, my phone, my laptop, my marking, work that I had to do. There was always something there. But I want you to hear today that you don't have to earn your right to rest. It's okay. It's okay for you to feel messy. It's okay for you to feel exhausted. You're enough anyway. It's okay for you to feel that feeling of overwhelm in your chest. You can't not be in the present moment in your body, but you can certainly be completely not so detached from it in your head. But what would it be like to just be here and now? And the irony of this is that where we're feeling overwhelmed, we're not getting enough done, we don't think we're getting enough done, etc. The irony of all this is that when we do fall into the present moment, when we are able to be with us exactly as we are, be with our messiness, be with our overwhelm, be with perhaps the fogginess in our head and whatever else it is, when we can really be with that, we are more productive naturally. Because this is not about not taking action. This is not about not doing things. This isn't about avoiding tasks. But my goodness, when we feel overwhelmed, we do a lot of avoiding, don't we? This moment isn't asking you to perform. It's just asking you to just be here now. To be with yourself now. To be with yourself without the sense that you need to fix something or change something or do more or tick more things off your list. There's nothing wrong with you. There never was. Being overwhelmed doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. Perhaps if you tune into that, it might be finally that opportunity to be honest. And what I see about this is that this, this thing I call the inner knowing, the inner wisdom, intuition, whatever you choose to call it, that feeling of overwhelm in your body is coming from that place. And when you sit with that, feeling, you are connecting to wisdom. And I think that's why, and I'm probably articulating this in a brand new way actually, that when we sit with the body and we breathe into that feeling, we are connecting to wisdom because the body is wisdom, the body is guidance, the body is there to help us, to guide us, to let us know when we're caught up in some really awful thinking about ourselves and how we're supposed to be different. But when we think, there's something wrong with us, we've got to get rid of overwhelm. How should we get rid of it? Do we need to just get everything done on our list and not sleep? Or do we need to find a tool or a technique to get rid of the overwhelm? What we're missing is we're missing a trick there, because we're missing the gift that the overwhelm is. The gift is your inner wisdom surfacing. It's your body asking for you to soften, to slow down, to pause. Just listen to that. This is where we can welcome in this. We can welcome in this. We can welcome in the overwhelm. We can see it as not a thing that's wrong with us, but a thing that's guiding us. That's just so transformational with every emotion. But at the moment we're exploring overwhelm. What if that was how you saw it? Yep, there's some overwhelm. That is a signal for me to pause and be with myself. Not to think that there is something actually wrong with me when there just isn't. So maybe, take some time after, listening into this, maybe take some time to do that. Take some time to just sit with yourself in whatever state you're in, any of the time, and realizing that it's safe and it's okay to feel, and it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. You are a normal, functioning human being, like all of us, and we all have these experiences all the time. It's normal. It's really normal. There is nothing wrong with you. I really hope you found that helpful